Drunk. And this was gonna be the chorus. I swear to God.
Not that bad.
That was it. It was gonna be doo-doo. Not only was it gonna be doo-doo, we were so excited about it that I have it right here. When we were making this record, the title of the record was going to be "Tell Me What's the Greatest Record You've Ever Heard." And we got so sure of ourselves.
It's the first time we ever worked with a different producer once it ended up on the record, a guy named Steve Lillywhite. He worked with U2 and Dave Matthews and a bunch of people. And I remember he heard that and he was just like, it's joy. It sounds like joy to me. We're like, yeah.
I gotta say
yeah,
though,
it does?
I love that description of the fact that like, and Steve was great.
I think it was that chorus that set him
Yeah,
off.
that was definitely that chorus.
And
Steve is such an awesome guy because Steve is, you know, Matt Streletic has been a very big part of Matchbox.
Matt Streletic is our producer, by the way.
Round of applause for Matt Streletic.
But the thing about Matt is so detailed. Like, Matt is a musical savant. So Matt is like, okay, you know, if you think about music on a time thing, it's like, okay, so on the end of 3, that little tiny note that you're playing for a fucking hair of a second, you're a little flat. And Matt's gonna know that.
No, Matt's the guy that says, hold on, everybody stop. Over here, on this part of the room, there's a weird 2 dB drop.
Totally, yeah. He's like, yeah, this room is not totally tuned right. So Matt is so detail-oriented. Steve Lillywhite, who we did Exile with, is the polar opposite of that.
Right.
Steve is like, it feels great. It
How was that? He's like, did you sing it? I was like, yeah. He's like, it's good.
It's good. And that was so mind-blowing to us because we had never.
So before I get it, I want to go to the thing that we wanted to start with.
Oh, now this is working? Yeah, do it.
So I want to play this for a second. You know the song? Oh, a girl, she gets what she wants all the time. You know the song? Cause she's fucking it sounds so easy, and of course he's a hot mess. Throw that right out there. But now wait.
Hold on, can I set this up for a minute?
Set it up right.
Okay, here's the deal. So, we got together to write North, and we would write in various different sessions. So we would be like, so it was a week, one week we'd be at Rob's studio, one week we'd be at Kyle's studio, one week we'd be at my studio, and we'd be like, okay, so we need to write a lot of stuff. So we need to set up challenges for ourselves to keep things moving. So one day would be like, okay, today everything we write is going to be about trees. We need to write 500 songs about trees. The next day would be like, okay, we're going to start at the piano, we're going to start on one key, and we're going to write a song in every single key on the piano. In every key. And so one day we were like, okay, so we want to pick one chord progression, and we want to write something over that chord progression. And the deal is, you can never change it. I don't care how much you want to, it's got to be those same chords over and over and over again.
Understand that what we were doing was, we were all, the 4 of us, were in a room trying to figure out, like, no matter how cavalier you're trying to make it, you're trying to figure out your career. You're trying to figure out, like, what's the next song that you're going to do that's going to make your fans that like you continue to like the music that you're making. Like, we have an obligation to you guys to try and make good music. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just about us. It's not just about but as we're doing this, we would be very, very serious about it until around 5 or 6 o'clock, and then we would go to dinner, and then we would drink a lot of wine, and then we would come back. Now, when we came back, a lot of great stuff came out of the drunken sessions. But
did it really?
But at the time,
I don't remember it
at the time. Well, this is one of them because I'm gonna play it
that's true,
right
that's
now,
true, actually.
and I'm gonna play you. She's So Mean, literally as it was being written by
all of us around him.
I need to preface this. I need to preface this. This is highly embarrassing for us.
It's so bad. It's so bad. We were so drunk. But here's the thing.
So you're actually going to hear
like how we did it, and like what we did was we gave each person a part. Like I had a little part. Well, we have
We
the
call
next
it
part. You have
the
the next
round
part.
robin is what we call
Right?
it.
Round robin.
So it'd be like the
And
chord
it was
progressions
called
going around.
She Goes.
You go, sing something.
Yeah.
It was called
This-
She
you sing.
Goes.
This is how it goes, and I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm pretty drunk right now too. This is really bad. This is gonna sound horrible, but you will recognize some part of it.
This is how it starts.
Oh yeah, it's Stacy's mom. You know
She don't know who I am, but she do. She do. I like to think that she don't know what I want, but she do. She goes uptown, take her round, turn it around.
Turn it around 3 times.
She goes uptown, take her round.
Apparently, she goes uptown, she turns it around,
And then she turns it around.
and then she goes, oh, oh.
No, this is awesome. This is Kyle.
Kyle.
She likes it cool, but she can't live it 'cause she's got herself.
Well, I'm trying to harmonize, it doesn't have the words.
She keeps something on the shelf that she can't find herself.
That was the chorus. That was the chorus.
She goes,
By the way, I have to point out, this became the bridge. That melody line became the bridge. We used it. We were like, you know what? There's something
Here
kind
we
of
got
cool.
here.
So hold on. Oh, wait, don't start that yet. So that's a great
We're gonna do
example
like 5
of how
evolutions
things
of
start.
everything.
That literally is us, like on the top of our head. So basically, Rob started, then I went, and then Kyle went, and it's literally like whatever comes off the top of your
Yeah,
head.
by the way, out here, are there any musicians, songwriters that are out here right now?
Okay. So you guys
Understand.
you probably do the same thing.
Don't
like,
be scared to be stupid. You know what I mean? Like, everything that you're gonna do might be good or it might suck one day, but don't be scared to be stupid because you have to go through something completely asinine and stupid and crazy to get to something that you think is good. You know what I mean? And like, a lot of times it's, everybody's like so caught up in like trying to be cool or trying to be, we're never cool, ever. Still now, we're not cool with what we do. We do it differently. We're like, other bands want to be cool, we do not cool, that's our thing. Can I play this? Can I play it?
Yeah. Okay. So that's where it started.
So this is step 2.
So what happens is, hold on, let me set this up a little bit. We go to, this is, that happened in New York. That was in Rob's basement.
No,
at
that
Rob's
I
house.
was in Nashville at my place.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. That was in that was at Kyle's studio in Nashville. So then we go
This is your
to,
studio.
we moved to LA. We go to my studio. and We're like, we're going to flesh this out a little bit. So this is what we get.
And now we kill it.
Wait, you're about to delete. Yeah, check it out. You're about to delete something. Yeah, there you go.
At this point, we were calling it the Weezer song. Like, oh, this is the Weezer song. Oh, yeah.
See, I'm like reliving this moment too. Like, I'm fucking into it. I'm like, oh, this band.
I actually kind of like this. I actually like this
It's not
a lot
bad.
better.
I mean, the lyrics are like,
Hey, Pookie's bass line.
Pookie's bass line
right now.
is now
He really
starting-
brought like an element to it now. Like it's grooving now.
Hold on, stop that.
It's a little sexier, you know.
This is a great
it's a lot
example
less, like,
of, this is a
playful
great
and
example of
sexy.
what a band is.
by the way, Pookie's been very silent, but let's
Yeah.
point out this the silent hero of this band is Pookie and the Beaver.
I have to point this out for the thing. Like, you guys got to hear, the first thing you heard was the three of us when we just came up with the initial idea. This is the band. And you really get to hear what he does. Like, he comes in and he plays this bass line that just is like, oh, everything totally makes sense now. We totally get this.
Don't say, oh, I'm trying to sleep with him.
But honestly, I think that's the underlying. When we eventually came up with that the Mustang riff.
I will
think
totally
it's just
say
a
this.
play off of Pookie's bass line.
If
really.
you go
It's
back and
inherently
you listen
there.
to a lot of Matchbox 20 songs, and you listen to a lot of the guitar parts and a lot of the hooks.
It's all built off of
It's all built off of what Pookie's doing.
A lot of the times when
A lot of time it's based on what Pookie comes up with a bass line that's like, wow, that's fucking hooky as shit. Let's build on that. Like, the foundation that he comes in and lays down is like, oh, that takes the song
You know
to
what?
a
I'm gonna
whole
actually.
other level.
I'm gonna go there because we've already figured out. She's I mean, like we already.
Oh, you would play I'll Believe You When.
Okay, so this is I'll Believe You When we first wrote it. We've always thought that like this was based on Pookie's bass line. And by the way, this is also still in our 80s period. Like so we're still like in that 80s, like we're just in the 80s world. I think that we thought that we were the Pretenders maybe, like we were something like that.
I tried so many times to tell you how I feel, but you're far too distant.
There's our share.
Trying to give you everything.
But imagine this song without Pookie's bass
I
line.
wasn't there, I was
It's not
now I've got myself
nothing
when I promised to be
because the
there.
melody
You say,
like I
I
is what
believe
makes
you
it
will. I believe you will.
And you can totally tell that
You say no to
this song and All Your Reasons are on the same record because there's that like backgrounds come in and then there's a lead vocal. The
I gotta
backgrounds
say,
come in.
you and
It was
I
a very
were-
50s
you and I
kind
were
of like
very
a
into
doo-woppy
the
kind of a
background.
doo-woppy kind of
We were
thing.
like
that
we were so 80s
subconsciously
crazy
going
like
for
for that
some
that
reason.
record. You know what? Let's take another question.
Yeah. Talking about.
Yo,
Second question.
Hey, guys, sorry.
What do you got?
Sorry, guys. Where's my question?
Oh, I love it that you're just like,
Where'd she go?
well, there's-
Donahue, what do you got?
Hold on.
You are like Phil Donahue right now. He's fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
hey. How you doing? What's your name?
My name's Barb.
Where are you from?
Hey, Barb.
Hey, you got a question?
I do. First of all, I want to say.
Hey, wait. Hold on. Barb, are you the
No,
Barb?
no,
that
no,
gave
you
the
don't want to
guitar?
say. You want to ask a question.
Are you the Barb that got the Oh, nice. How's that guitar doing?
Wonderful.
I miss it.
Nothing
tell
about
us that
Obamacare.
later.
Nothing
Have it
about
back.
Obamacare.
Okay, I do have a question, but I just
What
want
do
to
you
say you
got?
guys are like a married couple, and I love hearing you guys argue together.
Well, can I ask you really quick? Is everybody having a good time? Because this.
Yeah, are you guys drinking too, by the way?
There's gonna be actual music that's gonna happen for everyone on this cruise, but this is something different. So I want to make sure that everyone was enjoying what we're doing. All
Alright, you
right.
guys,
Shut up, Barbara.
you've been a band for a long time, and I'm assuming you guys are friends and like each other. So I'm just wondering, when one of you do something that someone else doesn't like, as far as writing or music or something, how do you tell them?
Brutal.
We're brutally honest with each other, and I gotta say, like, I'll speak from my perspective.
Like Paul will look at me and say, "That makes me feel like I'm in a bathhouse."
I'm gonna speak.
I don't want to say it's gay because I don't want to because I'm gay friendly, but I'm just saying I feel like I'm in a bathhouse when I listen to the song that you just played me, and it makes me want to sleep with other men. I'm not saying it's gay. I'm just saying that the song you played me makes me feel like I wanted to sleep with you.
But if you're into that, it's so cool.
If you're into that,
I think that's.
We're not saying
you
that's
hit me
wrong.
on the head.
I will say this, like, I came to songwriting a little later. Like, I was the drummer of the band, and I was interested in songwriting, but I was sort of shy about it, and I kind of was like, what do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this? And, you know, I mean, and being in a band with this guy is a little intimidating. I mean, like, this guy's, he's a master songwriter, so it's like, if you bring a song
It's true,
to
guys.
the band, you're like, well, you know, I mean, it's a big shoot of, you know, it's a big thing to go under. So, I will say this.
And I put them under it.
I will say this. So it takes a lot of like courage in this thing to be like, okay, well, I have this song and I think it's good. Do you guys like it? I will say this. The best thing in my life has been having that situation and bringing a song to especially this guy and this guy.
You're a hero.
Because I also don't want to underestimate. You know, everyone knows how great of a songwriter Rob is, but Kyle is equally as great of a songwriter. So, you know, when you have two guys in your band who you're like, well, this is the guys who I have to get my songs. This is the guys I have to, they have to like it in order for it to be good. That takes a lot. So being in a position to have a song and you bring to these guys and you're like, you're gonna like it, and have these guys go, dude, that's fucking horrible. That's the worst thing I've ever fucking
Speaking of that, here's what we should do. English Town, we have a new record. Everybody knows we have English Town. Oh, really?
Oh yeah, we're not gonna do
Well,
that.
that sucks.
We're not gonna do that.
They just gave us the 15-minute mark. Like, that's weird. Can we go longer? So let's just
Don't throw shit.
But check this out. English Town. It sounded like this, which is it's like this would be the acoustic version of English Town.
Oh, you want me to play that?
Yeah. It's insane.
Okay, so English Town, good example. Okay. Wait,
Don't be
let me finish
offended.
my thought.
I
Hold on.
have to pee really
So you basically you have to build up a pretty thick skin. You gotta go. You have to build up a pretty thick skin because when you bring a song to these guys, and they're, these guys have written great songs in their sleep. And, they've written amazing songs, and you're just like, well, does this thing even hold up? And, the other part of that is we've known each other since we were kids. Like, we've known each other since we were in our early 20s. So, for me to be like, fuck you, and for him to be like, fuck you. Like,
But you seem so cool with that.
I know. The fact is, like, we have the ability to be able to do that, and we have the ability to be able to say, dude, that's not good. And that's, as a songwriter, especially the songwriter, like, that's just trying to get people that like stuff, you're just like, wow, that's really hard to hear.
It's funny, like, it's also, like, it's the same thing, like, for me, like, there was that moment where I realized that these are the guys that I like, they're the only group that I either write alone or I write with these guys. And when I came in, and, like, they're the guys that are like, you know what? That's not a good song. And I felt, like, good about myself. I felt like really, I brought it in, like, and it's like, you know what? It's not a good song. And the worst fucking part is when I take a day or two and I go, shit, you're right. It wasn't a good song. Like, it just wasn't a good song. You know what I mean? But you have to have people that you rely on to tell you those things that can help you realize.
Yeah, which is great. Which brings up with the English Town thing.
Right. But,
oh, wait, you got a question?
No, but
Are you getting another question?
yeah,
Yes.
But this is right here. But he really likes her.
I do. She's a Georgia huge.
What's your question?
What's your question?
Forget the English Town thing.
I love you guys, but
What's your name?
Sherry.
Oh, I love your voice. You sound like
Georgia.
Tammy Taylor.
Oh, you're very
You
sweet.
sound like Tammy Taylor. His and her closets.
All right. What's your question, Georgia?
Thank you for the cruise, but whose idea was it for this wonderful cruise?
I know.
You know what? It was brought to us. I mean, it was
Seriously.
like, it wasn't one of us. Like, our manager, Michael Littman, who is somewhere out here in the world, brought it to us. And you know what happened was, we're right at the end of our tour, right at the end of everything we're doing, and before we take our break. And this is like our fan appreciation. This was like that moment that we're like, you know what we can do is like, this sounds like a good idea that we can get on a boat, we can all hang out, we can drink too much, we can make bad decisions, and we can all be on a boat, and, just appreciate the fact that, like, for nothing else, most of you, a lot of you, have been around for 20 years of our life. Like, just, it's a bigger deal for us than you guys might imagine, because it doesn't exist. What we do our entire life, like our ability to have a life, like what we do, our ability to shine, our ability to create, none of those things exist without you guys. And so this is a big deal to us, and so we're happy that we could do this. And when they ask us, what, right now, we were worried would seem like kind of a stupid thing to do. This seemed like a better thing to do because we want to talk to you guys about how we write songs and how we go about the process, and you can watch this. And Kyle pees.
I'm getting old.
Should we take another question?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got?
We should actually, you know what? We only have a few. Let's just do questions.
Okay, come here. Hold on. What you got? What's your name?
Chrissy,
Where you from?
What do you got, Kristen?
Youngstown, Ohio.
I know it's gonna be serious because you guys have fucking t-shirts.
No, I'm just curious. Is there any songs that your families are like, I cannot hear that song anymore?
Every
Stop
one of
singing.
them.
Yeah.
Our families are sick of us as people, so
I gotta say, like
do the math.
my personal my version of that is like I'm a dad and I have a daughter. She's gonna be 9,
Oh
and
my God.
she literally is
know.
unimpressed with this as you could possibly. She could give a shit about any of this. Like she's just like whatever. Like Rob Thomas like. What's that? she doesn't care. Like none of this makes any difference to her because all this is something that makes me not be home to her. So to her, she's like, you know, I could care less about any of this stuff. Like none of this is good. And I play a song for her. I'm like, what do you think of this? Like I just wrote this song, and she's like, anything? Nah. Nothing. And I'm sure you probably have the same.
No, my kids usually just like, it's good.
Yeah, that's nice.
All the time.
Yeah.
But it becomes like your mom after a while. It's just like, everything can't be good. Tell me it fucking sucks one time.
No, yeah,
It's not good. As a matter of fact, good is really like an awesome compliment. It's like, it's good.
A 15-year-old, you know, I play him a song
So it's like
when I get
awesome
his.
sex with
Do you know
my-
John Mayer?
It's good.
It's good.
All right.
I do.
What do you got?
All right, hold on.
Randall,
What's your
what do you
name?
got?
I'm right here.
Hello, Gillian from.
Hey, Gillian.
Oh, Gillian, I know you.
Yes,
How are you,
you
baby?
So once you do write a great song and you're done with it, is it hard to get the hook out of your head to write another one?
Well, I don't know that we necessarily know that it's a great song.
Greatest is kind of.
I gotta say, the only song that I know, like I can speak of North. The one song that we were like, that's fucking great. We're proud of that. That's awesome. Is I Will. We were like, you know what? That's not a single. That's not a song that's gonna play on the radio. But damn, are we proud of that?
I think it's good.
You know, like Kyle actually would disagree. Kyle's like, yeah, whatever. I don't like that song too much.
I think it's good.
But I don't know that we ever know that.
Guys,
we write a great
listen.
song. What's up, Tom?
Awesome. All right, here we go.
Yes.
What's your name?
Hey, I'm Phil.
Where are you from?
Fresno, California.
What's up, Phil?
Fresno.
Hey,
You guys were telling us about your songwriting process and how you submit the CD and they listen to it and add a little bit.
Well, it used to be that way.
Sure.
But
He submits an email now.
Where in that process do you hear it and go, holy shit, this is the song. This is gonna be huge.
Well, that's a good question because a lot down if you go down the line of a lot of the albums, I mean, I think if I remember correctly, and I think our management, Littman, Michael would agree. Didn't we all think Black and White People was the big like on Mad Season? Did we think that was?
I didn't.
I gotta say, I never did either.
Everybody talked about that.
I never did. I will go on record as saying I was never the biggest fan of that song.
Okay, well maybe I'm.
But I will say that a lot of people were. And
I
there was
thought
a lot of talk of that being our